Hello beautiful people, let's get started with today's look. To prime my face, I use Alma Beauty's Tripping Smooth Face Primer. And to prime my eyes, I use Urban Decay Primer Potion in Original. As an eyeshadow base, I'm going to be using Juvia's Place I Prep I Prime, and this is in shade number 2. And to set that, I'm going to be grabbing my KVD Beauty powder, and this is in the shade Translucent. We're going to be dipping into Colored Rain's Vivid Pigments and Shadows palette today. And I'm starting off by picking up the shade Crushin'. I'm going to be focusing this on the inner 2/3, I'd say, of my upper crease area. So because we're dealing with vivid colors today, I'm going to make sure that I focus first on placement. So I'm going to be pressing it down, and then once I get the placement correct, I'll use a swiping motion to help blend out the edges. Next, I'm picking up the shade Bossed Up. And I'm going to be using this to pretty much just continue in that crease area. You can see that I'm following the shape of my brow, like how my brow bone curves, and then winging it up, lifting up the outer portion of that area to where pretty much the tail of my eyebrow is. Picking up the shade Perp Smurf, I'm going to be using that to close off the outer portion of the lid. So I'm focusing first on using that tapping motion again, and then you'll see me to start to blend and lift up the eyeshadow. So I'm really focusing on eyeshadow placement here and just pretty much just being very, I guess, precise about my placement so I get the correct shape that I want. And I'm pretty sure at this point I went back into Bossed Up to make sure that I blend out everything as smoothly as possible. Grabbing my Juvia's Place I Prep I Prime eye primer again in shade number 2, I like to put a little bit on the back of my hand. I use a fluffier blending brush, if you will, but it's kind of flat, but you see it, you see the brush. And what I'm doing is I'm carving out my lid space. So for this look, I'm making sure that I'm bringing in that lid area more into like the inner tear duct area. What it's going to do is really help open up that inner portion of your eyelid and to help create a new shape for the eyeshadow to go down on. Of course, going in to set it with my KVD Translucent Setting Powder. In my Sugar Pill Fun Size 2 palette, I'm going to be picking up the shade Power Up, and we're going to be placing this on the lid. Again, since it's a bright color, I'm focusing first on packing it on, and for here we don't really have to use a swiping blending motion, but I'm mostly packing on this shade. Then right next to that, I'm going to grab Bossed Up and place it right there to help transition in between that yellow and that purple shade that we have. Guys, I'm sorry I'm out of focus. I kept leaning back and forth. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry about that. Next, I'm grabbing the shade Perp Smurf, and I'm going to just be touching up the outer portion of the lid. So this is one of the parts of the process where you just want to go back in, blend everything out as smoothly as possible, refresh any colors that you felt got a little dull, and just clean up that area. In my Anastasia Beverly Hills Omrizi palette, per usual, picking up the shade New Yorker. I'm using this shade because it's close to my complexion, and I'm using it to just get rid of that white cast that was left from the eyeshadow primer. I'm grabbing the shade Crush. So this is from my Badass Cosmetics UV pastel liner set, and I'm going to be using this to do a little bit of a graphic cut crease moment. So I'm going to be putting a little bit on the upper portion of the lid. So this is right above where that yellow shade is. Next to that, I'm putting the shade Pinky. And you definitely want to make sure that you allow it to dry down before you look up, because girl, it will bleed. It needs time to dry. And then next to that, I'm grabbing and putting the shade Passion. With a makeup remover wipe, I'm just going to clean up the outer portion of my lid. On the lower lash line, I'm going to be grabbing my Oma Beauty eyeliner. This is in the shade Outre, and I'm going to be focusing that, well, actually mostly in the waterline, not the lower lash line, mostly in the waterline. From Oma Beauty and their Salute to the Sun palette, I'm grabbing the shade Kespej, and I'm going to be using this to set that blue liner. In my Vivid Pigments palette, I'm going to be picking up the shade Neo Blue, and I'm going to be focusing this on the lower lash line. So I'm making sure I'm keeping it close to the lash line because I don't want it too blown out. In my Sugar Pill Fun Size 2 palette, I'm going to be picking up the shade Elixir, and I'm going to be putting that right in that inner portion that I had left open on the lower lash line. In my Humreezy palette again, picking up the shade New Yorker, and I'm going to be using this to just help smooth out that lower lash line and to help transition those blue shades into my complexion. For glitter, I'm grabbing LA Girl. This is in Frenzy, and I'm going to be focusing this mostly on like the magenta and purple areas of this look. So I'm just placing it on there, not packing it on too crazy. I want it to be a little bit more dispersed. Grabbing my Oma Beauty Drama Bomb mascara, I'm going to be applying this to my upper lashes. From Oma Beauty, I'm grabbing their Salute to the Sun Collection mascara. This is in the shade Azurite, and I'm going to be focusing this on the lower lash lines. On the lower lashes. Oh my god, I'm focusing this on my lower lashes. For lashes, I'm going to be using Just from Super Baddie Kawaii. Now I'm grabbing my Colored Rain Damage Control Blush Duo, and I'm going to be dipping into the blush and applying that for today. And for highlight, we're going in with Anastasia Beverly Hills Humreezy highlight. And guys, I did the rest of my face off camera. I'm sorry, my back was failing it. If you guys want to see my face products, they're usually the same. You can always check out a previous makeup tutorial that I've done. Or you can also check my Instagram because I put the full details there too. For lips, I'm going in with my Oma Beauty lip pencil. This is in the shade Simone. For lipstick, once again from Oma Beauty, I'm going in with the shade Cleopatra. On my upper chest area, I used Oma Beauty's Face and Body Highlighter, and this is in the shade New Gold. That's it for today's look. Thank you so much for watching. Bless up, and until next time, sending out much peace, love, and enlightenment. Bye, guys.